Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is about Billy Knight. I'm sitting here with our police chief. You know, I told you sometime before that we were going to bring the police chief, and we're also going to bring the fire chief in here to kind of talk about how they operate every day, pros and cons, the things that you as a community ought to know about what's going on. So, Chief, thank you for coming, man. What I really want you to talk about today, the reason I actually come, and thank you, by the way, for coming, is to talk about, you know, we lost an 11-year-old.
Yes.
Next day, you know, caught, they made the wrong turn off of 63 and they caught and turned over.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately, no one got seriously hurt. So tell me, what is the rule on the golf cart? Just start with the golf cart, Chief.
Well, the golf cart, we have a city ordinance that allows the golf cart to operate on city streets, but you have to go get them registered at the police department. And you have to have proof of insurance, and you have to have a valid driving license, and the golf carts are inspected at the police department. And they get a sticker to put on the golf cart after they get registered and get approved. They have to have seat belts, turn signals, headlights, taillights, and all the safety features.
Is that an annual thing? They have to do that annually?
No, well, as long as they're the same, you own your golf cart, you have to get it registered one time by the ordinance.
Okay.
One time and show that. And if you need a new sticker because it falls off, you just come by the police department. If like that, we'll replace it. But as the ordinance is written, it says as long as you're the sole owner of that golf cart and you get it registered, you don't have to do it but one time.
What about, is there any way you monitor how many ride those things? Because sometimes I've seen kids that got 4 or 5 kids just hanging off. I mean, they can't sit down. They just standing up on the back of the thing some kind of way.
Yeah, they should. If it says 2 seats, there's only 2 people, 4 seats. It's what the golf cart, seat belts allow.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can ride. You can't ride any other way but in a seat with a seat belt.
Right. What about now? The golf carts don't require a helmet. Is that part of the primary where you got to have a helmet?
No, sir. You don't have to have a helmet or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just remember now what he said. You got to have a license. You got to have it inspected. It's not an annual thing, but you got to have it licensed. You got to be inspected. You can ride the number that is required on the number of seats you have. That's how many people you can put on there. Now, kids can't be hanging off and just standing on the back of it. So parents be aware of that. Even the adults need to be aware of that, because mostly adults are the ones driving these golf carts. But then there are kids now beginning to drive them as well. What about the four-wheelers, Chief?
The four-wheelers, the ATVs are not allowed on public roads. They're not allowed to operate on public roads. It's a state law that pertains to.
So they only should be driven on off-road?
Off-road, and that's what they're designed for. They're not designed for public streets or anything like that. They're designed for off-road, in an open space, private property in the field or something like that, but not on the road. And we've been dealing with this for several years, complaints and stuff like that, and we've been trying to, our primary job right now is educate and inform the citizens that, hey, they're not allowed on the road at all. We have a zero tolerance. If they're on the road, we're going to get cited and your foiler may be towed. We had a tragic event, but we've been dealing with this for a while. We made Facebook posts on our police department website several times saying this is not allowed on the road. We get complaints at board meetings, as you're well aware of people complaining about the ATVs speeding up down the motorcycles, dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are not allowed on the road also.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Chief says the four-wheelers are not allowed on the road. It's against the law. It's against the law. So if your child is caught, they're going to be locked up. Then you got to come get them out. It's against the law. That four-wheeler is designed to be driven off-road in a field someplace, and safely even then. So just know that your child could really be in trouble, which revert back to you being in trouble if they're out here riding a four-wheeler on our streets and roads. It is against the law. Now you know. So please, parents, know where your kids are. Please understand the law. Help educate your kids about the rules and the law of the city. We want them to have fun, but we want them to obey the law. And as parents, you have to make sure our kids understand that and are doing that. Even at that, should there be a helmet? Even if they're out in the field someplace, Oh yeah, you know, it's
100%. There's a sticker using on the four-wheeler that says you need to have a helmet on riding. And most full-size four-wheelers are 16 years and under are not supposed to be on them.
Right.
And also, I want to add, if a child is allowed, like we had an 11-year-old child that, tragically lost his life, the parents may get issued a citation if they allow their child to knowingly ride them on the streets and stuff like that.
Right.
Because it's unsafe for especially for that rider, that four, and motorists and any, it's a dangerous situation.
Right. And the kid, give me those ages again, Chief. What's the ages again?
Normally a full-size four-wheeler is 16 and over.
Yeah.
It's usually has a sticker on the side of it that says not to be operated by anyone under 16.
See, parents, that's another thing that you need to know. First of all, how old is the kid that's operating that four-wheeler? If he's not 16 and older, he should not be operating in the first place. He should not be operating in the first place. Parents, you have to know the rules, and you have to know what your children are doing. Just like I also suggested on the last podcast, if your child go to some other kid's house, you may not even know they got a four-wheeler, but you need to tell your child before you leave home, what he can and cannot do. I say you have to give them that talk. We used to have the talk. We in the black community used to have to give our kids the talk because we were afraid what the police gonna do to them. Well, now you need to give them that talk about everything, including a four-wheel rider. Make sure you tell them the rules and don'ts of that. Chief, anything else you want to add about that?
Not this time, sir.
Thank you, Chief, for coming. Parents, I hope you understand what we're trying to do. It's trying to inform you so that you can help your kids understand what the rules are. And let's keep them safe. We want them to have fun, but we want them to be safe. Have a good day.